Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. A 72-year-old man, he's in court, but instead of him arguing, an AI avatar pops up on screen. Is that, I don't know, funny? Or is it the future?
It's certainly striking. We're talking about Jerome DeWalt, March 2025, an employment dispute in New York, a really unusual approach to representing himself.
Exactly. So today, we're digging into this specific event. We've got news reports, some academic takes on the ethics.
Right. The goal is to really understand what went down in that courtroom, why DeWalt did it, and, what the reaction tells us about technology meeting the, very traditional legal world.
Especially for people representing themselves, right? So what actually happened, DeWalt's there representing himself pro se, they call it.
And he submits this pre-recorded video. Standard enough, maybe.
But then up comes this digital avatar. A younger guy, looks polished, wearing a sweater, making the arguments.
And almost instantly, the judge, Justice Sally Manzanet-Daniels, jumps in. She asks, basically, is this your lawyer?
Which makes sense, contextually. And DeWalt, from his seat, has to clarify. He says, I generated that. That's not a real person.
You can imagine the reaction. Not good. The judge stopped the video right there.
Yeah, she was reportedly quite displeased, said she didn't appreciate being misled, told him to shut that off. The report said the judges were just stunned.
Well, and they apparently chewed him out, as the saying goes. It really highlights how much courts rely on established procedure. Surprises aren't welcome.
Especially that kind of surprise. So why? Why would he do this?
Well, there's context. He'd apparently had throat cancer previously, which made it difficult for him to speak clearly, especially under pressure, in a courtroom setting.
Okay, so he thought the avatar could present his arguments more effectively without stammering.
That seems to be the rationale, yes. And he did have permission to submit a video argument. That part was okayed beforehand.
And not the AI avatar part. He didn't mention that.
Exactly. That was the crucial omission. He used software, apparently from a San Francisco tech company, for this.
And the reports also said he had technical problems trying to make an avatar that looked like him.
That's right. So he ended up using a generic, younger male avatar instead.
Which, probably didn't help with the whole misleading perception the judge had, using a younger version.
It certainly adds another layer to it, raises questions about presentation and intent, definitely.
He did apologize later, though. Said he wasn't trying to deceive anyone.
Yes, he clarified his intent was just efficient communication, and he acknowledged that, transparency was needed. He understood the court's point, it seems, after the fact.
So the court's reaction, negative, mostly due to that lack of transparency, feeling misled. And this whole thing kicked off a bigger debate, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. About the ethics, the procedures, AI in courtrooms, especially for self-represented folks. And his case, by the way, is still pending.
It really throws that tension into sharp relief, doesn't it? Cutting-edge tech versus centuries of legal tradition.
Precisely. Courts are understandably cautious about AI stepping into these roles until there are clear rules.
Let's talk about those ethical concerns then. Lack of transparency, we've covered that. Big issue.
Huge. You need to know who or what is making the case. It's fundamental.
And then accountability. This is a tricky one. If the avatar messes up, makes a factual error, or says something legally problematic, who's on the hook?
Right. Is it DeWalt, software company? The AI itself. Our legal system is built for human responsibility. AI doesn't fit neatly into that.
It really challenges the whole framework, doesn't it?
It does. It assumes human agency. Introducing AI, even just to speak for someone, raises these really complex liability questions we just don't have answers for yet.
And the authenticity thing, using a younger avatar, does that cross a line into misrepresentation? Could it be seen as trying to manipulate perception?
That's a valid concern. The justice system relies on, a degree of genuineness. An avatar that intentionally doesn't reflect the person could undermine the integrity of the whole process.
Plus, just the basic procedural rules. How arguments are made, who can speak. This exposed a gap.
A big one. Technology is moving faster than the legal protocols can sometimes keep up. This case is a perfect example.
And thinking bigger picture, some people are worried this could even start to erode our idea of legal personhood, what it means to be someone or something the law recognizes.
That's a more philosophical but still critical point. If AI starts acting in roles reserved for legal persons, even in small ways, it blurs lines. That could have really significant long-term consequences for how our legal system understands rights and responsibilities.
Okay, so boiling it down, key takeaways from all this. First, AI avatars as stand-ins. Not really accepted right now. especially not as a surprise.
Definitely not. Transparency is king. If you're using any non-standard method, you need to disclose it fully and upfront. That's the big lesson here.
And it screams for clearer rules, right? We need ethical guidelines for AI in legal settings.
Yeah.
It's coming. So we need to figure out the how.
Absolutely. And it also shows the tricky spot self-represented litigants can be in. Technology could help them, but using it without understanding the court's expectations can backfire badly.
It feels like a reminder that the justice system, with all its traditions, isn't just something you can swap out with software overnight.
No, definitely not. Prudence is key. We need to be really careful and thoughtful about integrating AI, respecting those foundational principles of justice.
So DeWalt's case kind of serves as a warning, maybe.
Yeah.
A cautionary tale about leaning too heavily on tech in these really critical human systems.
I think that's fair. It highlights that technology has limits, especially where human judgment, interaction, and clear accountability are so crucial.
Which leaves us with a big question to chew on, really. Can technology ever truly replace that human element in something as complex as the judiciary? And what does this whole episode tell us about finding that balance between embracing innovation and respecting tradition in the law?
A very important question indeed. Lots to think about there.
Definitely. A fascinating moment where tech and law collided. This has been the podcast de Philippe.